Good morning, my dear students. Myself, Kausar Momin, ninth standard, subject Science, Science Part 2, Chapter number 8, Useful and Harmful Bacteria. So, in the last lecture, we studied about useful bacteria. Little bit part is there about useful bacteria, and afterwards we will discuss about harmful bacteria. In that we will discuss about antibiotics for today itself. So let's go ahead with the antibiotics. Carbon compounds obtained from some bacteria and fungi for destroying or preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms are called antibiotics. What is the meaning of antibiotics? Carbon compounds obtained from some bacteria and fungi for destroying or preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms. Whatever the growing of harmful microorganisms are there, to destroy them. For the destroying these carbon compounds which are obtained from bacteria and fungi, these are only called antibiotics. Antibiotics, a discovery of the 20th century, have brought about a revolution in the field of medicine. Even a disease like tuberculosis has been almost completely eradicated from some countries. So you may have heard about कि बहुत सारा fever है, then we have to go ahead with the antibiotic. If your fever is not going like decreases, then doctor gives us antibiotics only. So whatever bacteria which are present in our body, for the destroying them, doctor uses antibiotics. For children also there is a cold cough and all is there, and obviously cold cough means some harmful bacteria are there which are entering in our body. So for them to destroy it, we are using antibiotics only. So that is the part of antibiotics. To destroy the bacteria, we are using to destroy the harmful bacteria, we are using antibiotics. Okay, antibiotics mainly act against bacteria. Antibiotics mainly act against bacteria. Some antibiotics can destroy protozoa. Some antibiotics are useful against wide variety of bacteria. They are called broad spectrum antibiotics. Example are ampicillin, amoxicillin, tetracycline, etc. When the pathogen cannot be identified even though the symptoms of disease are visible, broad spectrum antibiotics are used. Amoxicillin, you may have heard about whenever you are carrying antibiotics tablets, please read on it part of amoxicillin, ampicillin, tetracycline, all these contents are written over there. So these are the, we can say, all these are the examples. Okay, examples of antibiotics. Whenever pathogenic microorganisms is definitely known, then narrow spectrum antibiotics are used. So whenever the pathogen of microorganisms is defined, definitely known, likewise suppose dengue and all, we are very clear with through the blood test and all which disease is going on. So if it is very well known, then we are using narrow spectrum antibiotics. Example, penicillin, gentamicin, erythromycin. Please whenever you are using tablets, cream and all, for the same you just read it out, the contents which are given over there. So all these part of antibiotics only. Okay, let's go ahead with the penicillin. Penicillin is a group of antibiotics obtained from fungus Penicillium and is used for controlling the infection caused by bacteria like Staphylococci, Clostridia, Streptococci, etc. These medicines containing penicillin are useful to treat certain bacterial infections of the ear, nose, throat and skin, as well as diseases like pneumonia and scarlet fever. So over there penicillin is used as a antibiotic only. Now next we will go ahead with the harmful microorganisms. Microscopic spores of fungi are present in the air. If there is sufficient moisture, spores germinate on cotton fabric, gunny bags, leather, wooden items, etc. The fungal hyphae, which is fibers of fungus, penetrate deep into material to obtain nutrition and reproduce. This causes the materials to wear and become weak. As a result, gunny bags, leather items like shoes, purses, belts, etc., on which fungi have grown do not last long. Wooden items also gets spoiled. You may have observed about wooden items, the leather, gunny bags, and all. They get spoiled earlier, okay, due to if the fungus is happens on it. So sometimes you may notice a black powder or white disc floating on pickle or murabba. Obviously all we have seen this, the black powder is creating on the pickle or murabba. When a jar is open after a long time, what exactly is this? Why are such food items not good to eat? Obviously fungus is creating on it, that is definitely bacteria are creating on it, and it is not good for our health. It will affect on our health. So various species of fungi grow on food items like pickles, murabba, jam, sauce, chutney, etc. They use two nutrients in this food item for growth and reproduction. During this activity, fungi releases mycotoxins, certain poisonous chemicals into food, and thus food becomes poisonous. Hence, the food on which fungi have grown cannot be eaten. So whatever the blackish powder is creating on these items, we should avoid to eat, because it will create a poison. Okay, so next is clostridium. Sometimes cases of food poisoning occur during community feast. How does the food become poisonous all of a sudden? So the bacteria which spoil cooked food are Clostridium. Out of about 100 different species of this bacterium, some are free living in the soil, whereas some live in the alimentary canal of humans and other animals. These bacteria are rod-shaped, produce bottle-shaped endospores in adverse condition. One special characteristic of this bacteria is that they cannot withstand the normal oxygen level of the air, because they grow in anaerobic condition. Anaerobic conditions means without oxygen they are growing. So here you can observe the Clostridium species. Now we will go ahead with the other harmful microorganisms. So do only the Clostridium bacteria causes illness? So we have other kinds of microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, protozoa and fungi are also responsible for different diseases that affects on humans. We have learned that about viruses which are smaller than the bacteria. We discussed in a previous lecture before your first semester. In your first unit test portion, we have seen the bacteria which are very smaller, we can see it as viruses. So virus is very smaller as compared to bacteria, and it reproduces only the living cells. So let us see how they are harmful to us. Here is a table which you can observe. There is a name of disease, pathogen, mode of infection and prevention of measures. Okay, very first, AIDS. It is a virus. Mode of infection is through blood and semen of infected person and milk of mother suffering from AIDS. If mother has a AIDS, so whatever milk is feeding to his child, so child will also get AIDS. Okay, so this is the mode. And its preventive measure is safe sexual contact, avoid a reuse of needles and injections. Hepatitis, it is a this pathogen has a virus. It is contaminated water and food. Through this mode it is happening. And it is preventive measure is clean and filter water, proper storage of food. Next is influenza virus. It is a virus and its mode is contact with infected person. Prevention is personal hygiene and avoiding contact with infected person. Measles and chickenpox, it is also a virus. Mode of infection is contact with infected person. Prevention is vaccination, uncontaminated water, clean food. Next is bird flu. It has a type H7N9, and swine flu, that is H1N1. It is also a virus. Mode of infection is contact with infected birds and animals. Prevention is personal hygiene, properly cooked meat. Dengue, it is also a virus. Mode of infection is mosquito bite. Prevention is cleanliness of surrounding, preventing stagnation of water, mosquito control. Pneumonia, it is bacteria. Mode of infection is droplets spread in air by infected person. Prevention, vaccination, avoiding contact with infected person. Next is leprosy. It is a part of also bacteria. Mode of infection is long-term contact with infected person. Prevention is avoiding contact with infected person and their belongings. Next is cholera. It is a part of bacteria. Mode of infection is contaminated food and water. Prevention is clean food and water. Next is malaria. This is protozoa. Mode of infection is mosquito bite, unclean surroundings. Prevention, cleanliness of surroundings, preventing stagnation of water, controlling mosquitoes. Next is dandruff, ringworm, scabies. All these are part of fungi only. Mode of infection is contact with infected person or her belongings like clothes and all. If someone has ringworm and all, if we are using such person's clothes, then we are also getting ringworm. Okay, so due to belongings also, like if we are using clothes of infected person. And prevention is personal hygiene, avoiding contact with infected person. In our daily life, we are going ahead with this questions. Just search the answers for these questions and let me know. And collect information about which plant and animal diseases are caused by microorganisms and what are the measures to be taken against them. So please search these answers and let me know. This is the part of your homework. Here your chapter gets over. I will send you the notes of the same.